Hey guys, welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast, your daily guide for inner child healing. This podcast helps you establish a consistent reparenting routine, and it's divided into 3 sections. The first is a daily reading, the second is a discussion of that reading, followed by suggested journal prompts, and the last section is a peaceful meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us. I'm so glad that you could join us here on this journey of self-expansion and growth. If this is your first time, welcome. Now, before we dive in, I'd like to again remind us of the congratulations of passing the 500 episode marker. And as a celebration of that, I've opened up the Patreon community for free membership so that people can join our Zoom calls for free. There are a lot of people struggling out there. There's a lot going on. So I thought this could be a way to provide some help and, to give some thanks for all the support that I've received so far. You can also choose if you'd like to be a paid Patreon member, and that will help me to subsidize some of the costs and expenses that I have for this project. I'm still running this out of my own pocket, so it's about $2,000 to $5,000 a year that it costs me to produce this actually. So I'm not really making money from this. It's something that I'm doing for myself and hopefully to be able to help others. And so I'm coming from a genuine place here. The second thing that I'd like to remind you is that you can also find the Reparenting Daily Journal. You can purchase that on Amazon. It's another way to support the podcast. It's under $20. And it basically allows you to follow along with all of the monthly and weekly themes. It gives you space to keep your notes. And yeah, if you join the team or the Zoom calls, it might be a great way for us to all stay aligned and be working together. The last thing I'd like to give you a head up on is the Fairy Tales for Reparenting Daily series. As I mentioned earlier, I've had some editing issues with that because in the springtime, the end of spring, I did some reworking to structure those into certain themes. So like the beginning, middle, and end of the hero's journey. And in the midst of reorganizing and restructuring the stories and also upgrading the artwork, some of the text is a bit mixed and jumbled all over the place. Sorry about that. When I was in the editing phase for the first time, they did not send the proofread copies to the Netherlands, and so I had to work, around and trying to find a way to get the copy to edit, and it's just been a mess. So basically, that's going to take a little bit longer. I'm going to aim to have that done by the end of the year, but I have burned my eyes, so I am very limited. Excuse me, with what I can do and time I spent on the computer. And so I would have had that done much earlier. I would have liked to have that already done, but here we are. And so in any case, once that's available, again, I'll give you a heads up, but please do hold off on purchasing the Fairy Tales for Reparenting Daily for now. Or Fairy Tales for Reparenting series, not the Fairy Tales for Reparenting Daily. That's it today. So without further ado, let's dive into today's practice. Today's reading is Maya Angelou's poem, Still I Rise. Just as a reminder, we are in October, and the theme is building resilience, developing resilience, and overcoming challenges. We're in week 3, which is October 15th until the 21st, and the theme for this week is coping with failure and setbacks. I've chosen this poem because it really does get to the heart of this week in terms of being an emotional expression of what it takes to overcome failure and setbacks and to remain optimistic and hopeful in the face of difficult circumstances and potential failures. So without further ado, here is Still I Rise, read by Maya Angelou.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Just 'cause I walk as if I have oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like suns and like moons, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just 'cause I laugh. As if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard. You can shoot me with your words. You can cut me with your lies. You can kill me with your hatefulness. But just like life, I'll rise. Does my sexiness offend you? Oh, Does it come as a surprise that I dance as if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, naturally, there I go rising.
Maya Angelou, Still I Rise, is one of the most powerful declarations of resilience ever written. It transforms pain and injustice into radiant self-affirmation. Every stanza reclaims power from oppression, turning suffering into strength, defiance into dignity. The poem's rhythm mirrors the act of rising itself, repeated, unstoppable, and natural, like the tide or the sun. Angelou's words embody emotional resilience, the ability to stand tall even after every attempt to break your spirit, not through denial of pain, but through faith in your own unshakable worth. In the context of coping with failure and setbacks, the poem teaches that setbacks, whether personal, societal, or historical, do not define who we are. What defines us is the choice to rise again, again, and again. And to lose confidence is not arrogance, it's a reclamation. Her imaginary oil wells, gold mines, diamonds remind us that real treasures of life are in her internal self-respect, hope, and spirit. The poem reframes adversity, as alchemy. Every insult, every loss, every injustice becomes fuel for transformation. This is the highest form of resilience. To take what was meant to destroy you and use it to shine even brighter. From a reparenting perspective, Still I Rise is a love letter to your inner child, the one who was ashamed, silenced, or told they were too much. When you say I rise, you are rewriting your emotional inheritance. You are telling your younger self, no matter what they said about you, you are radiant, powerful, and free. Each rise is an act of reparenting, choosing pride instead of shame, courage instead of collapse, and joy instead of fear. The child who once had to hide is now allowed to dance, and the adult you are becoming carries both of you towards liberation. Angelou ends not in anger, but in transcendence, with gratitude to those who came before her, and to vow to keep rising for those who come after. Her words remind us that resilience is not just surviving, it's becoming magnificent in spite of everything. As we go into the journal prompts today, number 1, what does rising mean for me right now, emotionally, spiritually, or in my healing journey? Number 2, when have I turned a wound into a source of wisdom or strength? What did that moment teach me about who I am? And number 3, how can I embody the same spirit of defiant joy and self-love in the face of challenges this week? That's it for today. As always, thanks for being here. Take care of yourself, and please do be well. Welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please go ahead and find a space where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for this 10-minute silent meditation. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you comfortable today. Take a moment to simply be with yourself. Focus on your breath and gently connect with each part of your body. If thoughts arise, don't let them overwhelm you. Just observe them without attachment. Imagine them as leaves drifting down atop a river, passing by without needing your engagement. Stay present, grounded, and open to this moment, no matter what time you are listening. and practicing this meditation. Namaste.